And we're late. Oh, I'm sorry. Right before we went on, we realized that Goz needed to do his makeup, and that's why it took us a couple extra seconds. Goz spares no expense, and just gets right into it with his makeup. He just and it's all done. Live from the Hideaway. It is the annual Taps and Tees golf tournament. If you're not in this one, you made a mistake. This is one of the best events of the year. The weather's perfect. There's people throughout the entire Saratoga Lake Golf Club that are giving out beer samples. So you play golf, you get to sample beers, single cuts right in front of us. I saw Wolf Hollows out there, a bunch of other great breweries and other things. Just a fun tournament. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, Levack tournament's already going, thanks for telling me now. How about Sink for the Pink, my friend? How about that one, huh? That's the next one coming up October 3rd. Sink the Pink tournament. It's the kickoff to Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It is going to benefit the American Cancer Society. It is a great time, great cause. HideawaySaratoga.com. Sink the Pink, probably one of the only times I would wear pink.
Not only Sink the Pink, Levack, but the Fall Festival and the Halloween tournament. If you want more information on how you can join one of those tournaments, go to Godzilla Media's YouTube. Go back and watch this video if you're listening on Apple or Spotify. Go to YouTube. All the information on how you can sign up for one of those tournaments is there right for you. And if you're watching on YouTube, click that link to the website. I just realized something live at the Hideaway. We're out here on their beautifully clean patio, just the cleanest patio, just very inviting. No odor at all. It did rain, so it's a wet patio, but it's drying up now because we're here. So if I wore pink to the Sink the Pink on October 3rd, I could wear the exact same outfit to the Halloween one because I would look like Patrick Starr. That would be boom. Good. Yeah.
Doing good, raising awareness, raising some cash to fight breast cancer, and Halloween costume. Walk away from the table. I'm good.
Efficiency at its finest.
Repurposing, my friends. All right, so man, it has been it's been a second or two since we spoke to you. We did a video live from the City Field. We'll talk about that in a second. But I'm not drinking for a little while because I have to have some medical thing done. Nothing serious. It's all fine. It's really serious. Please Venmo me. No, just kidding.
It's not
It's so serious. It's the most serious ever. No, it's nothing. But I wish I could have drank yesterday because UAlbany, Syracuse looked as good as they're going to look all year. UAlbany might have looked as bad as they're going to look all year, with the exception of a couple drives, couple plays where UAlbany got it together and started moving the ball a little bit. It was funny. They kept bringing up the fact that Gattuso, head coach of the Great Danes, had more picks at the Carrier Dome than his team had this year going into that game because he has a defensive lineman for Penn State. He had a pick against them, and they didn't have picks. They ended up with a pick six to score, but just not a lot of good stuff to take from it. This is a classic pay game. You got paid to go to the Carrier Dome. Everybody does it. Smart way to do business. But Syracuse was looking to take out their aggressions from Rutgers. They did that on the Great Danes.
I was there as a fan, so I got to enjoy the feel
of what
the
team?
Carrier Dome of Syracuse.
Wow.
I was there as Syracuse.
If Albany had somehow won, you would have been a fan of Albany, though, wouldn't you?
Like I said, I love the Great Danes. It's a great football program. No. Coach Gattuso and I think before one of the games 2 years ago, he was talking smack about this game. Like, they knew this was on the schedule. They knew what it could mean for the program. And one other storyline you mentioned in that pregame of Coach was really upset about the Super Bowl comment made by Dino Babers. And one of the many.
Can you refresh? What was that? What was that comment?
Sure. So Coach Babers at the end of the Rutgers-Syracuse game, the first media session availability, said Albany's going to come into the Carrier Dome and this is going to be their Super Bowl. And Coach Gattuso was like, "This is not our Super Bowl. Like, you could use a different term." And out in Central New York, that media area, they kind of scoffed at Coach Gattuso's comeback. Like, all right, whatever motivates you guys, that's fine. Whatever gets you guys fired up for the game. No, Coach Gattuso was right. UAlbany compared to Syracuse football over the last 5 years has had more success. This idea that you go from FCS to FBS, that it's going to be the greatest moment for it's not true. They've been to North Dakota State. They've been to Pitt. They've beat Buffalo. So I was really bothered by how arrogant a lot of Central New York media members took Albany going into that game Saturday. Unfortunately, the Great Danes played the worst game I've ever seen them play in person since I've moved out here to the Capital Region. They were terrible. And there's no other way to put how they played.
They
didn't block anybody. The offensive line is struggling. We both like Jeff Underculfer and Carmo for. They've struggled, and it's a combination of a few things. The offensive line's not very good right now. I think Undercuffler had some reads for the blitzes where he's struggling. You saw them play against Rhode Island. The offense has not put up more than 20 points. They struggled to score against North Dakota State. When you're 3 games into a season and your offense is having trouble moving the football, that's not going to change. I don't know what can change, but from the lack of blocking, the lack of receivers making plays and getting open, the defense, look, you get beat, you get beat. You got to tackle. Sean Tucker looked like Jim Brown out there. Sean Tucker had 13 touches, Levack. 13 touches, I believe, was the final number, for 5 touchdowns. He was like Ernie Davis, Floyd Little, Jim Brown. As much as it bothers me that they're trying to unretire 44 for this kid because he played well against Ohio and UAlbany, he looked like Jim Brown out there. So they couldn't tackle, they couldn't block, they couldn't get the offense going. It was so disappointing because I so badly, as much as I was rooting for Syracuse, I badly wanted to see the Great Danes keep this a game throughout the entire thing.
You know, I feel like this is going to become cliche over the course of the season for teams that haven't adjusted yet. This was a program that over the last 8 years, Greg Gattuso has been building in a very meticulous way, right? He told everybody when he came in here, you're stepping up to the CAA. This isn't like we just throw jerseys out to our guys and we're right where we always were. So if you watch, you've seen the size, the speed, the athletes, the play all improve, the transfers improve, everything's gotten better. Then you take a year away. And I think there's teams that just are going to take time to adjust back from that. And I think this is one of those teams. Now, again, North Dakota State is going to beat you. That's who they are. Syracuse is going to beat you. The Rhode Island game is the only one that if I'm a Great Dane fan, I'm disappointed in the Rhode Island game. I'm disappointed in the way that one went down. The Syracuse, would I have liked to see it a lot closer? Absolutely. Would I like to see a couple more points against North Dakota State? Absolutely. But is this, do I still feel like this is a team that at some point will click? Because Undercuffler just doesn't look comfortable back there at all. You said the offensive line isn't clicked yet. The defense is not getting the push that I thought it was going to get. But it did. Like, you look at, if the defense played the way it played against North Dakota State every game this year, you beat Rhode Island, and you would have been in it for at least 3 quarters against Q's. There's inconsistencies, and I think a lot of that just comes down to you had a very set, meticulous schedule in which you were building this, and it got thrown off. It just got thrown off.
I hope that UAlbany can build off this loss. And I know that's hard to say because it was such a bad beatdown for the Great Danes. And there was a big spark. You mentioned the pick 6, right? That pick 6 could have been the spark in the game. They just needed another big play, another sideline where it lights up everybody and builds the confidence for them. It just never happened. And we've mentioned this almost every time we've mentioned the Great Danes this season. The next 2 opponents are tough too.
Yeah.
Like Delaware and William and Mary. I know you're playing at a high level.
You're on the road still.
Yeah,
you don't come home. So you get a week, and then you're headed to Delaware. Then you're headed to William and Mary. Oh, then you finally get to come home for Villanova. Like, they're not home again until October 16th. This is the beginning of the schedule. There's a reason that we all circled Rhode Island. Like, you needed to beat Rhode Island. You needed to, because now it's not going to be unheard of if you lose to Delaware at Delaware. It won't be unheard of if you lose to William and Mary at William and Mary. Now, I talk about trying to get that momentum back, trying to get that comfort level back. You start 0-5. That's not going to happen. I just don't know where that happens at that point.
Right.
So you got to win one of these games. You probably need to beat Delaware.
Yeah, I think. Look, we're not going to do the must-win, have to win this soon for UAlbany, but you're conference play now. It's conference play.
Right.
You got to start beating teams. If you want to go back to the FCS playoffs, which is almost a new expectation for UAlbany when you get there and win a game in 2019, you've got a lot of those guys coming back. Maybe we're going to look back at this 2021 year. Jawan Green's the name that just keeps popping in my head where, look, you made the Falcons team. You were out there playing in the NFL. His impact may have been far more underestimated when we realized it, of what he was able to be, at least with coverages and teams having to scout against him. On the other side, too, for Syracuse, you get Liberty coming for a Friday night game. And in the past, you think about Liberty, you'd be like, all right, that's another win. Syracuse is going to go to 3-1. Here's how good Liberty is. Liberty was basically undefeated last season. They should be in the top 25 in the country. And if you missed it, Mel Kiper talked this week where he believes Malik Willis, the quarterback for Liberty, could be the number 1 quarterback drafted this year. Not from LSU, not from USC, not from Ohio. Liberty might have the number 1 quarterback in the country. So as bad as Undercuffler and UAlbany looked against Syracuse, You are not going to get that Friday night if you're a Syracuse fan. So please don't take the Liberty Flames. And Syracuse fans know that they got beat by Liberty last year. You might have the best quarterback in the country come to the Carrier Dome on Friday night.
Well, like I said, it stinks. Rough one for UA. I also like going back to that comment that Babers made. Like they're going to play like it's their Super Bowl. Remember, there's times that stuff's not for you. Like I understand why Gattuso was like, stop it. But I also can understand why Babers would say it. Like, hey, guys, you think there's an FCS team coming that's an hour and 2 hours away or whatever. You think that they're not worthy of you. Guess what? If you think that too long, they're going to beat you. So, I know why he would say it too. Like, I get the motivational reason to say it. And also, not to mention, Press hasn't always been very nice to Coach Babers.
No.
So if he goes out and he actually does lose to Albany, he could go, hey, look, I told you they were going to take it seriously. You guys didn't listen, but stinks. It's over. It's done. We move on. We try not to dwell on it too much. This is what I get nonstop from Corey from Greenwich. This is what he did. At least he did. I told him, don't just say hi. So he didn't. He wants to know where our call-in line is. And then he's watching. He's at a market selling his nuts. So there you go. Corey from Greenwich. Most loyal listener. Least loyal caller. Most loyal listener. Like any sports talk show, like if you had a spirited sports conversation on your back deck, there's a chance Corey's going to call your house if he knows the number. And just be like, all right, pick 16 teams you think could win the Super Bowl. I'll start. The Yankees.
I think you heard Mel Kiper's name. He's like, is Mel looking for me?
Yeah.
I know he knows me. I'm calling a lot. Sorry, Mel. I know those guys.
Oh, man. So, yeah, I mean, as a Cuse fan, you got to be kind of happy. You got healthy. You got healthy. You got good again.
Sean Tucker, I was just kind of crapping on the kid a little bit there because he had so many carries, but
I know you're like the worst Cuse fan ever. When they suck, you're like, oh my God, they're going to be fine. Now they're playing well, and you're like, they're not that good. Let's calm down.
It's the Central New York media, because you just mentioned it too. That's what's bothering me, because I know that you and I do this, right? Like, when someone's, I call it fishing for the engagement, humping for the comments, whatever term you want to use. It's like, Mickey Callaway. When you start saying stuff like, this kid's the best running back ever, is it time to unretire? Just let the kid have a good game. Like Sean Tucker's really good. The team's fine. Schrader and DeVito both played again. I feel like I'm going to be a coach with this answer. How about you just beat a few ACC teams? Let's comment. They're 2-1. You're beating the teams you're supposed to beat. If they would have beaten Rutgers, maybe I would have been more positive about this team. But to quote our guy Travis from Traffic, pump the brakes. Let's see how you do against Liberty this week before you start celebrating and dancing.
I cannot tell you how excited I am for Rutgers, Michigan. I can't, like, Michigan goes out and smacks Northern Illinois 63-10, and now Rutgers, who I've been just riding the gravy train on Rutgers all season. That's going to be a game.
Somebody's helmet's going to break. Over under one helmet broken, 3 ejections. That is going to be just pure defense the entire game between those teams. Yeah,
just running the ball.
Yeah,
can Rutgers stop the Michigan run game? I mean, that's a powerful run. That's one of those ones where you look around and go, you can't just keep winning, just running the ball. Oh wait, I'm sorry, you can.
Gianna's going to do something dirty, diving at knees again. He's going to do something dirty.
Gianna's going to suit up, get out there, dive at some knees. I mean, we only have 16 running backs with Michigan, so yeah, I'm speaking French. I said we. What? I said we when they were bad. I can say we when they're good. But yeah, that should be a lot of fun. As far as the rest of the college football slate, we might as well stay here since we're already talking UAlbany. We're live at the Hideaway. Don't forget to go to HideawaySaratoga.com. Sign up for Sink the Pink. It's the next golf tournament, October 3rd. Wear your pink. Help support the fight against breast cancer. American Cancer Society is going to be benefited by this. And also, it's just a good excuse to get out here. I mean, there's not how many more Sundays of great golf are left. You don't want to miss out if you can, and you can do it. And then, like anybody, like if the missus or the mister gives you, oh, you're always out there golfing. I'm trying to fight cancer. I mean, come on. Yes. I'm sorry that you just don't understand my altruistic nature. I'm sorry.
Squeeze every weekend you can. It is a beautiful day. And like we said on our YouTube page, make sure to check out that information so you can sign up and take advantage of this wonderful course.
Yeah, they're doing a tournament every other week until Halloween. So Halloween's the last one. So just keep checking HideawaySaratoga.com. Sign up. get out here, swing the clubs as much as you can, have some fun. There's always something special going on too. Like they don't just go, here's a golf tournament. They like put people out of the holes with like challenges or today's taps and tees. You know, you go have a sample of the brewskis or God knows what else. It's all out there.
Say what's up to our guy Greg on the 11th hole, by the way. He's
out
there
somewhere
doing his thing. I don't know what he's doing, whatever that thing is. You mentioned the college football national schedule. Before we get into the games, this seems like a very easy comment, but I'm having so much more fun watching college football. Maybe it's because we went through COVID 2020 and we didn't have the crowds and the emotion, the fan. Watching college football again, it feels like it's more, I appreciate it more than ever. Like the whiteout for Penn State Auburn. I can't stand Penn State.
I'm never going to appreciate
it. I don't like Penn State. I don't like the whole thing. It goes back. It stinks, right?
I like they say we are and they stop. Like they're not sure. They have to think about it.
Mark.
Yeah, we are. And then somebody else goes, Penn State. Oh yeah, that's us. Sorry.
That scene, though, for the whiteout is awesome. And the college game day feel to it. And
people trying to convince me that Penn State's going to be a real contender for the national championship is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Penn State's got to beat Iowa and Michigan at some point. Like Iowa, Michigan, and Penn State are all going to be competing for a Rose Bowl bid or a college football playoff bid. Here's the tough part about Penn State. They look better than the team that almost got in that year over Washington when Washington was undefeated, I believe, and Penn State had 2 losses and Penn State fans thought they should have been in. They look better than that team. However, the Big Ten looks better.
Yeah.
Ohio State got tested again, but Michigan looks better. Iowa looks better. Michigan State smacked around Miami. The conference is better. Penn State got lucky because Auburn couldn't convert there late in the game. Thank you for covering Penn State, by the way. Appreciate that. But yeah, it feels like college football is more fun. Like Florida, Alabama is a great game. Great crowd in the swamp. You're getting all these wonderful matchups, the crowd into it. Another exciting Saturday night of great games at the college level.
I think it feels more like I feel like college football kind of, I don't want to say changed. Like back in my day, like there was the powers were starting to not be the powers, and like obviously Bama's always Bama, Oklahoma, whatever. But like, you know, Michigan hasn't been good in a while, and your Cuse, like they always are at least on the level where, you know, they're at least a speed bump if you want to win the ACC, you know, if not better. Stuff like that. Like Penn State looks really, really good. Like those kind of things. It feels like a lot of those things are back, right? So I only had 2 big plays yesterday. I had West Virginia, which I gave out on our video. And then I had over Ole Miss 76.5. And I never felt any doubt about either pick all night long. Like Ole Miss is my new Texas Tech. Back in the day, you put Texas Tech over, they set the total at 88, bet the over. It'll be 100 points.
It's funny you mentioned Ole Miss because I also was watching that game and it got delayed for like an hour.
Yeah.
Got the rain delay out there in Mississippi. Matt Corral. I was thinking about this driving over. So he has 7 touchdowns. And we mentioned him, I think, last week too. Long Beach kid, California, big prospect, all this stuff. Went to Ole Miss to play quarterback. So Ole Miss smacks Tulane. They had a game against Louisville earlier this month. So Ole Miss is going to go on a bye week coming up. And then they get Alabama. We've seen quarterbacks in the SEC. Cam Newton, Joe Burrow, Johnny Manziel. We've seen quarterbacks go out and beat Alabama. And you know, all these guys, like Trevor Lawrence at a championship game and all that. Like, if you beat Alabama, you're on a different level. You should be Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson was the one who beat Bama. You're on a different level when that happens. Everything's lining up for that to be like the Katy Perry college game day Ole Miss. I know the game's in Alabama, but if you remember years ago, Katy Perry went on college game day, was there with Corso, and then at the game, she took a drink and body dived into the dive bars in Mississippi, which I can only imagine how much of a dream that would have been.
Did you see Lane Kiffin is trying, like, actively begging her to come back?
Yes, on Twitter and everything.
Yeah.
Get ready, because Ole Miss might be able to hang, if not maybe pull off a huge upset, because Bama almost got beat by Florida. So I'm with you on Ole Miss this year, that they got a chance to do something really special with Corral at quarterback.
I mean, they're at least going to be must-watch TV.
Yes.
Like, if you like offense, Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin, I hope Ole Miss becomes an actual contender for playoffs, because Lane Kiffin could be the best villain in all of college football. Like he is, for no other reason than he's got a punchable face. Like I don't know what it is about him. He's just got a punchable face. Like people know. Like, I know somebody's like, oh my God, you can't condone violence. I'm not saying I'm gonna punch his face. I say I want to. Like when he coached the Raiders, I wanted to punch his face. And how great is it right now? USC looking for a coach. You know who everybody be talking about if you hadn't already fired him. If you hadn't already left him on the side, people like, Lane Kiffin, get him in there. Get some points out there at USC. And I was like, yeah, I don't think he's going to answer.
We already tried.
Yeah, we did that. We've been there, done that. But yeah, that's Ole Miss is must watch. Whether you like Ole Miss or not, you got to watch Ole Miss games the rest of the year.
Another late West Coast game last night. Fresno State, UCLA. UCLA had been the talk of college football too because of Chip Kelly and the big one they had over LSU. They got beat last night by Fresno State, but the quarterback Hainer. How about Byron Leftwich like stuff last night? If you remember Byron Leftwich at Marshall, that famous play where the linemen pick him up and run him down the field.
Yeah.
This kid for Fresno State gets blasted in the hip, throws a touchdown, can barely stand up, but he's on the sidelines. He goes back out, wins the game, drives it down the field, beats UCLA, and then they're all celebrating, going nuts. He is so injured, he can't even get up and celebrate. I'm like, you want to talk about moments in college football. When you're the underdog like Fresno State and you're having moments like that, that was a cool West Coast moment. Oklahoma had like a video game, one-handed interception in their game, and they got tested. So many great moments already in this September college football season.
All right, we're going. Don't forget, we are live on Tech East Fire and Water Restoration Facebook. We're live on the Hideaways Facebook. We're live on Godzilla Media's YouTube. If you comment on there, we can go ahead and answer your question. Corey from Greenwich, never heard of him before. He wants to know, does anybody during the regular season beat Bama? I think if anybody want to do it, track meet Saturday, October 2nd, when they take on Ole Miss.
That game could, I'm with you, Levack. I think it's going to be the best game of the college football season. I know if the game was in the Grove, as they call it there, it might have been a better chance for Ole Miss. By the way, why are there students always like the same looking kid, right? The weird polo, the plaid shorts.
And like every blonde looks like she was made at a factory.
Right. But
we
that
should go.
Want to go to an Ole Miss game?
I'll
go to the tailgate and hang out in the Grove all day.
I'll be a creepy old man. Look at them over there. There's some ladies walking around.
But that would be the one. Yes, I agree with you on that.
Because, I mean, all right, so you look through it, right? I'm no offense to Southern Mississippi. I just don't think you're going to get it done. Texas A&M, so I did 2 weeks in a row, right? Like, A&M is going to beat Bama in the next few years. Is this the year? I don't know. Mississippi State, fun game, not going to win. Tennessee, not going to beat them. LSU's not going to beat them. New Mexico State's not going to beat them. Arkansas, Auburn. I think it's the next, if it's not September 25th, I'm sorry, if it's not October 2nd or October 9th, they make it through the regular season.
All right, here's a fun question. Is it better or worse if Alabama loses? Because it almost feels like that championship in the UFC or boxing or even like pro wrestling, where if you have a dominant champion, whoever is going against them as the underdog is always going to be cheered on unless you're a Bama fan. I feel like it might be better if Bama gets beat because we'll have some parity in college football and this new playoff and everything. I'm rooting for Bama to lose. I feel like that is still better for the sport.
I believe we have a wager. What was it Ohio State, Bama? Didn't you pick a third? Cuse? Yeah. So if none of those three win the national championship, you owe me a 30 rack of beer?
Shoot.
I really do believe it's better if Bama loses. That's your only one left. That's who you got. That's who you got, right?
Yes.
I mean, Cuse has got a loss.
Yeah.
Now Ohio State's got one. If Bama loses, can you imagine if Lane Kiffin beats Bama after all the years of being there? Can't wait. Yeah, that'd be great. And then you can just bring me the beer. Then at that point, I think it just brings me right then and there. Speaking of beer, let's real quick before I get into the beer. Let me tell you about my good friend Dr. Fred Drew in the Integrated Sleep Center in Ballston Spa. 518-885-6185. 518-885-6185. Doctor and the team at the Integrative Sleep Center it's called a mouthpiece. That's what it is. It's not a mask. It's not surgery. It's none of those things. And I know like a lot of people who are a little nervous with the latest news about the CPAP devices, some of them getting recalled. Well, here's your perfect opportunity to call 518-885-6185. Dr. Dreer, the team, they'll take care of you. Lori Ann will answer all your questions. They'll get you in, they'll get you taken care of. And then if you're like me, you get that mouthpiece. Sleeping better, snoring is reduced, just feeling better about the world. Just a great group of people at the Integrative Sleep Center in Ballston Spa. 518-885-6185, integrativesleepcenter.com, the website. And again, the mouthpiece. It's easy to clean, it's easy to travel with. So it's just the easiest way to do anything as far as getting over snoring. Now let's talk about Dr. I washed these shorts. I put them on this morning. I'm finding mystery money in all the random cargo pockets because these are what I wore to Citi Field with Dr. and the crew. Dr. Dreer must have felt like such a he was the adult in the room when it came to Goz and I, because these guys know how to have a good time. this group of people who invited us on this. So we take a limo bus down to Citi Field. The day starts with a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue. That was how we started the festivities. The bottle that you and I probably wouldn't open unless like our team won a national championship or we found out you were having another kid or something. You know what I mean? Like, or I found a woman that didn't want to choke me and throw me out a second story window. Like that's, and not in a fun way. That's when we would, that was like, hey guys, you ready to get started? Let's open this nice decorative box, remove, like a $200 bottle of booze is their party starter.
I couldn't believe it. I saw him like pull it out. I'm like, is that for us? By the way, Dr. Drew, like, and you mentioned like,
and that was like Dr. Bulford who's one who brought that one, by the way. That was Dr. Drew was over here like, all right, cool, I'll go with you.
Sometimes you want to like learn about somebody, know about it when you make a big decision with your health and want to sleep better. There's no doubt Dr. Drew is the person to call. Like you went through all the stuff, YouTube and GozzillaMedia.com and all the places to find out the information. It is confirmed why people get so much great feedback and why they're living better, knowing you have such a great person to hang it out. Oh, just such a great time.
And the whole time, like you know how there's always like, so it's a group of adults, right? It's just a group of adults in a limo bus. I think there was 12 of us. I think it was. I don't really know. I know that every time I looked up, every time we got on the bus, I saw Dreer go, all right, we're good. Like he was the adult in the room. Like he was the one who kept us on the level. Who knows? Goz and I might still be wandering around by the bullpen gate at Citi Field if it wasn't. But no, just I like Citi Field. Am I crazy? And Mets fan, if you want to get pissed off, I don't care. Citi Field's smaller than Yankee Stadium. I mean, it feels like it's significantly smaller than Yankee Stadium.
It was hard for me to tell. I know we discussed it a little bit at one point of the game where maybe it was our seats. Maybe it was just kind of how it was set up. I don't know if it's smaller.
It was. I feel like it was. I feel like it's just, I mean, it's really nice. It's a really nice park. They did a great job with it. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like Yankee Stadium's just bigger. It's just got more.
It feels like a mall compared to a museum. Is that a better way to put it? Like it feels like Yankee Stadium, tons of stuff is going on from like Monument Park to walking around for the history. And maybe we just didn't walk around as much and check out as much stuff. We made sure the beer lines were working though. They were, by the way, just fine.
Yeah, by the way, joke all you wanted that I was drunk in that Instagram photo and I did drop my phone. That's 100% accurate. It happened. I hit West Virginia. That was my pick. That was my pick, and I hit it. So
I told Levack, I'm like, wow, this did really well on Instagram. Why is that? Oh, I'll tell you why.
Yeah, because I was hammered. I was already.
You wanted to do the video, and you said you wanted to talk in the video, and it got what we wanted, right? It got our picks out there, so people want some cash. The Integrated Sleep Center was happy because their name was out there.
I'm glad we did it because then I know what I was going to say because I don't remember all that much. Like I said, I've been trying to behave myself a little bit. I did not behave myself on that bus trip. I did not. I was like, yeah, Dr. Earl can take care of me. He'll be fine.
What you can't remember from the Mets and the Phillies actually on the field. Philadelphia wins the game. Harper is hot right now. Every time he had 2 strikes on, I think he had, I believe it might have been 3. That sounds wild out loud, but he put 2 to the warning track. For the Mets, they've got all the talent. They just got to deliver.
Yeah.
Just got to
that's 100%. Like there were so many times where you're just like, you know, and it's, I think the Yankees are the exact same way right now, where when your team is hot, when everything's working, and a guy gets a second, like that guy's coming home. Or your guy gets the third, you're like, oh man, we're about to blow this inning open. Never felt like that with them. And they had plenty of opportunities to do it. They had plenty of big plays, they had plenty of things happen, but you just never had that feeling like, okay, here they come. And I think that's I keep harping on heart. Like I think it's a heart thing. Like the Yankees have a question on a heart. The Mets have it, and then they don't. Like it's almost like the Mets are almost in a way too young, maybe too young in the process of building a championship contender, where they get to this point where it's like, all right, here we go, we're the team to beat, and they go, nah, not really. Oh God, you guys go ahead.
They got everything. They got the slugger and Alonso if they need to hit. They got the talent and Lindor. I could keep going over and over about DeGrom, but DeGrom goes 1 every 5 days. Like just games like that against Philadelphia, we have to see it in person where it's like exactly what you just said. All right, who's going to break through? Who's going to clutch? Who's going to Phillies in comparison, Brad Miller's the one who hits a home run. Brad Miller's basically a AAA guy. He just bounces around from every position on the field except pitcher and catcher. But one of those,
and he's working on it. It could happen.
It could happen. That was the difference for Philly. And now the NL East, Philadelphia is more likely to catch Atlanta than they are for somebody in that wild card spot. St. Louis gets hot. Classic September St. Louis, right? The Dodgers, and I just can't stand the 1-game wild card because San Francisco is so good. The Dodgers are going to be stuck throwing Scherzer likely in a 1-game wild card. And the most exciting team in baseball, the San Diego Padres are done. Machado and Tatis are screaming at each other. Buster Olney, our pal, said San Diego's got to make some huge decisions this
There's
season.
a reckoning coming, I believe
My
you said.
goodness. I don't know if they're going to bring back Bruce Bochy to be the manager, but
I saw
San Diego
that can't
crashed.
happen.
And
You
we saw it because of the comments, right? The whole
Yeah.
comments got basically
You can't bring back
ratioed,
Bochy.
as they call it. Yeah, no, he's done.
Can't. I mean, it's like
Mets and Padres are kind of similar, aren't they? Tons of talent, just not delivering.
Padres might be a little higher on the talent because they have the actual like more superstars who are getting paid already.
Definitely.
But no, yeah, there's no reason the Mets shouldn't be a better team. There's no reason they shouldn't. I mean, especially when you look at it, 500 probably get you in. You know what I mean? 500 probably get you in, and they just can't quite get there. And again, I feel like I'm saying the same thing about the Yankees and the Mets. Both have the superstars, both have the talent. Two of the best starting pitchers in all of baseball on both of them. Now both have had little hiccups with injuries and whatever, but still, you've got they're mirror images of each other, and they just can't quite get there. Again, so yeah, here then we'll let you want to do it. Yankees, what I just said about the Mets. There you go. That's it. That's I mean, still got a chance, take down the wild card, get that one game wild card, but who do you beat once you get there? Who's the team you beat? I don't think you beat the Rays in the divisional round.
By the time you and I do another show on Tech East Tuesdays, they're going to have the Rangers for that matchup. And then finally the calendar is caught up where it's Boston on that Friday series, then Toronto, then Tampa. Same thing has been said. I feel like we're on repeat, but the storyline stayed the same. The theme of the season stayed the same. That those are the games that matter the most. I know Baltimore threatened the other night before Brett Gardner got that big hit. Cleveland, they pick up one win, and they lose yesterday. They get crushed by about 8 runs against can I even call them the Indians anymore? The Guardians, the
Indians rest of the
Cleveland
season.
baseball
you say Indians
team?
rest of the
All
season.
Right, fine, I don't want to offend anybody.
It's just there's going to be a lot of that though, because I mean, I still as good as I've been about the football team, I still call them Redskins. I still do it. It happens. Or like I'll be like the Washington, and you have to like catch it. It's like football team. And there it is. We're live at the Hideaway. It is the Taps and Tees that loud. I didn't realize how loud that was. The entire people over on
that whole
yeah, they all just looked all at once when I did the but the lady looked like she liked the sound, so I don't know. We're here at the Hideaway, Taps and Tees. Make sure you go to hideawaysaratoga.com. Looking to sink the pink as the big old tournament on October 3rd. To help get breast cancer awareness, to fight against breast cancer as it benefits the American Cancer Society.
Levack, by the way, do you know how I got from Syracuse, New York to Waterville, back to Saratoga, how all that happened?
Terrible decisions?
Maybe, but also my pilot, thanks to Mohawk Honda. The fall is now here, and at Mohawk Honda, you can take advantage of the Kelly Blue Book Instant Cash offer. They're going to put cash in your hand for your vehicle the same day you come in. Even if you don't buy from them, it's a pretty sweet deal. Mohawk Honda, like my pilot, Levack knows about the Mohawk family as well. They're going to take care of you, whether it's pre-owned vehicles or something you have in mind. It's all about the inventory. It's been a weird year, 2021. But if you're looking for a vehicle that you've had your eye on for a while, Mohawk Honda is going to help find it for you. Stop in, say what's up to our guy, Greg Johnson. We love him. We cannot wait to do a show, by the way. We got a show coming up in October. For more details on that, GodzillaMedia.com and how we're going to be helping out with Mohawk Honda. Hot Sauce Doyle, the VIP man Morales. I feel like, oh man, I want to say Ray Flores, one of the boxing announcers, Michael Buffer when I'm announcing these guys. Hot Sauce Doyle,
the Han Diva, Lindsay
VIP man Morales. That's Howard Cosell. The Ghost is coming back for the selection of vehicles. Mohawk Honda will help you find it. Mohawk Honda, where they always go out of their way to please you.
We're live at the Hideaway. It is time. Let's get into what everybody wants to talk about. Let's talk a little NFL action this weekend. There are, some big names that are out this week. Josh Jacobs for the Raiders out. Marcus Mariota out on the IR. Were you the one I told?
Yes, it was.
I saw he had such a great play. His first play, they come in, they let him run up the middle on a design QB run, and then he didn't go back in, and he just looked wrong because he blew up his quad. So he's on the IR. You've also got OBJ out again. I mean,
seriously, with Odell Beckham Jr., he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
Okay, let's combine these two because I kind of feel the same way about it.
But it feels like he's always out.
Yeah, I mean, his whole career, it seems like he's always been injured, really taking care of his body the way he wants to do it. Odell Beckham Jr. versus Saquon Barkley. Okay, both tear their ACLs. Saquon, for perspective of the injury here, did wait a little longer to get the surgery. I know he got hurt in week 2 last year, but surgery was closer to October, November. Okay, so Odell's not playing. Saquon is. do the Giants look at Odell and be like, because Barkley doesn't look right. We just don't see Odell. I wonder if they're in the same spot. And I know they were former teammates, obviously, but should the Giants have done this with Barkley and just waited, kind of see till he's ready?
Well, I mean, they've kind of. It's not like they've pushed Barkley into the deep end either. They're he's playing, but he's not playing. He's not carrying the load you would expect him to carry. I think one of the reasons you'll often see people not make the correlation you're making, even though it's very real, is Barkley's so likable. And OBJ, I mean, look, I don't know if I dislike him if he had never been a Giant. But when he was a Giant, I just felt like he was kind of the turd in the punch bowl. And look, is that right? Is it wrong? I don't know. I'm just telling you what I thought, what I felt. So I think that Barkley is going to get the benefit of the doubt far longer than OBJ ever would. Don't forget, you can check us out. We're live on the Tech East Facebook. We're live on the Hideaway Facebook. We're live on Godzilla Media YouTube. You can comment in there and make sure you like, subscribe, rate, and return your empty bottles because they're good for the environment. It's 5 cents for each one. So
close.
I thought I had it. That was it. So OBJ out, and then also Will Fuller, the 5th, is out. There's talk he may not even return this year.
Not to be mean, but does that shock you? Like Will Fuller is so good, but if you ever drafted him in fantasy football, it's just that's Odell Beckham Jr. is one level. Fuller, as I call him, Fuller V. Fuller V is done. Unbelievable with that guy. So good, never healthy.
Yeah, those are the big offensive ones just to keep an eye on. And Gabe Davis is active, the wide receiver for the Bills, but he's still pretty banged up with his ankle. So I don't know how much weight you want to put on that ankle or on him as far as your fantasy football team goes. But I think over the course of the year, I bet you he starts to step in a little bit more. Obviously, Emmanuel Sanders, Cole Beasley got the love last week, but Gabe Davis is somebody that the Bills are going to keep using. I like watching him play too.
I like Gabe Davis for this reason too. You and I heard about Gabe Davis way back at a training camp we covered back in 2019, and I was like, I mean, that's fine. Like, you get excited about him, and Devin Singletary was in the same mix too. Like you just see like locally there, people get super excited about these players. You just think it's a local guy getting excited. Gabe Davis has literally gotten better every single time he's been on the field. And I feel like, you used literally the wrong way there. No, like stronger, faster, quicker, gets the NFL. You want to watch a guy who might not have been a roster guy or got PT, and then all of a sudden he's out there playing all the time and making it happen. Yeah, he's very good. And the Bills want to continue to find ways to get him involved in the future.
Absolutely. You've asked the question, guys. Bigger week for the Jets or the Bills? I don't think that's a cut and dry answer. I would say for this season, it's bigger for the Bills. Bills you can't start 0-2 if you're the Bills. You can't start 0-2 if you're the Bills, not with all the hopes that everybody's got on your shoulders. Though it is going to be an interesting way to see how the math nerds change everything. Like, if you start 0-2 in a 16-game regular season, your chances of going to the playoffs are blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, now there's an extra game. Like, does that change anything? Like, do we really know? Because I have one more game to get it right. I can start 0-2 and I can still win 15 games. I could have done it the other way. But I mean, I can still win a ton of games, it feels like. So I don't know, but I think for this season, it's this game. But if the Jets were able to beat the Pats right now, or even just take them to the wire, that's got to feel good for Zach Wilson, for Robert Saleh, and all that.
It feels like what you just said, according to the expectations for both these teams, that if New York goes out, the Jets, and they lose to New England, but they keep it close, Jet fan might be like, all right, you know what? It's a new coach. It's a rookie quarterback. We're trying to figure out their running back. I get it. That's a team we're probably not going to beat. And Jet fan probably feels two ways about it. It's either that you're going to keep it close, maybe not win, but keep it close, because the Jets, all the way back to the Rex Ryan days, have wanted this Patriot team to be the team they knock off. Or some Jet fans think this is going to be an absolute destruction today. New England's ticked off. They lost week 1. Belichick is going against Saleh, who he's never had to really face. And Belichick might know things that Saleh doesn't even know about himself. Think about that. So they think it's either going to be one or two ways. So with New York potentially being in that spot, you turn to Buffalo and think what you just said. Super Bowl expectations, division to lose, but another team that Miami's on the way up. That line I saw it last was sitting around 3.5, where you wonder where that's going to go. But Miami is by themselves at 1-0 and looking up and saying, okay, maybe this can be our year. under more pressure in week 2, who needs it more in week 2? The answer is Buffalo. Buffalo wants to say we're going to be the best team in the division and the top team in the AFC. These are teams that you got to beat Miami. I know it's a divisional game, and sometimes you can split those games because those teams know you the best, but Buffalo needs to stick their chest out a little bit and say, we are one of, if not the best teams in the AFC, and this is a week where we can prove it. But it's not going to be easy.
No, I don't know. You're going to learn a lot about the AFC East this week. You're going to learn a lot because there's a part of me, like I think the narrative goes one of two ways for Miami, right? You're that damn good. That's why you were able to get the victory against New England, and you're about to give the Bills fits. Or the other is New England's not really that good yet. They're figuring it out. And the fact that you were able to get a victory over a team that's not that good, you're about to get exposed against Buffalo today. So I think that game is going to tell us a lot about it all. And then I said the only reason I even hesitate to say, because yes, for this season, Bills start winning, get winning, make sure everybody remembers that you're the best team in the AFC East. You're a top 2-3 team in all the AFC, maybe a top 2-3 team in all of football. But long term, Josh McDaniels versus Robert Saleh, Belichick versus Williams and LaFleur, like this, there's some drama on the table, and I think the comparisons of Mac Jones to Tom Brady are obviously a little reckless, just a little reckless. But where I think they make a lot of sense is that long debate over who needed who more, Belichick or Brady, is bullcrap. Okay, they needed each other. They needed each other because Belichick brought Brady along the right way. Brady's job: don't lose the game. Keep me in the game. Don't lose it until it was, you've got it now. Go win me a football game. Belichick is going to take McDaniels aside and go, that's what we're doing with Mac Jones. Like he's a little more polished already. Like, you feel like rookie Mac Jones to Tom Brady's debut. Mac Jones may have a couple more tools in the toolbox at that same point. But if the game plan's the same, don't lose on special teams, don't lose on defense, and you just get me in field goal position when I need to be, I think Mac Jones could do some big things. I think he could come along relatively quickly based on that method. But if you're solid and you can get after him a little bit, he is still a rook. He's a rookie. And if you're a good defensive guy, you're supposed to be able to, slap rookies around.
Both of those quarterbacks, Wilson and Jones, in week 1, average, fine. If you're posted a B-,
both
as a rookie,
did things you love to see, but neither did things that blow you away.
Trust us, you and I have gone through so many week 2s where after one bad game as a rookie, people want to go nuts and say, is he a bust? Is he overrated? How many rookies have we seen have that? Andrew Luck and Jameis Winston are the first two who popped to my mind, where if they had one bad game in week 1, people are ready to just say it's over. Neither one, Jones or Wilson, had that happen. But that scout report you just had is spot on, because you've got two defensive minds who are going to do things in this game like just blitz Mac Jones with, whoa, I didn't see this on film. Same in the opposite way. Belichick is going to, I get a rookie quarterback week 2 for the Jets. I cannot wait to send the pressure after him.
There he goes.
All that stuff could definitely happen in this matchup for sure.
Thanks, man. Thanks. We're here at Taps and Tees at the Hideaway, and I just see that I get a comment from a guy that some of you might be familiar with, H.C. Thomas. Oh, head coach Tom Manaz of the Albany Empire. Who are the Steelers playing today? Oh, yeah, those guys. Who are the Steelers playing today? The winners. That's who they're playing today, okay?
The Raiders.
No Josh Jacobs for that. Makes me very nervous. I feel a lot better if Jacobs was out there, but I also think it's amazing that the Raiders finally went, hey, you know what would be great? Is if we didn't let Josh Jacobs be hurt the entire season. Maybe we rest him with a broken shoulder. Maybe we rest him with turf toe. Maybe we take consider the fact that he had one run last week. We had to take him off the field and put him in shoes that would protect his turf toe. Maybe we give him a break. The Steelers. I didn't know. I thought Coach wants to bet a stake. All right. I'm not opposed. But Coach, where we get those stakes is going to vary on who wins, just so we know. I never played in the NFL. You did. So you got a little more in the bank, sir. But Raiders are going to win. I thought he was a Lions fan. I know he's a Steelers fan.
Steelers fan, it sounds like. I'm going to save my pick for that, Levack. You're not going to like my pick later. I might be
I prefer when you pick against my teams because you suck. You're terrible at picking football.
One quick thing, by the way. We'll see. We're going to go through the records in a little bit. One quick thing about, you mentioned the turf there about Josh Jacobs. A storyline to keep an eye on. Our pal Sal Capaccio is there in Miami, covers the Bills. Bills fans are nervous about the stadium at Hard Rock because Michigan State and Miami played yesterday. So they're nervous that the turf is going to be all ripped up and they're going to kick off within 2 games in 24 hours. Like, in my mind, I'm like, it's 2021. I think we figured out how to fix the turf and everything else. But I don't know who did that scheduling to put back-to-back football games on that fast. So Bills fans are a little concerned of whether or not the turf is going to be to the
like you said, fans are. The players are. They're going to go out. They're going to do their pregame warm up. They're going to run around a little bit. They're going to see what's up. I mean, it's not like we're talking about the old vet. We're not talking about the Philly Stadium. The Philly Stadium where like you would see where the turf wouldn't even meet. Like those are some of the seeing Andy Reid have to walk around the field with the other coaches back in his Eagles days and be like, yeah, I'm sorry about that. I didn't know there was an actual pit to hell in the middle of our field, and by hell I mean the prison that we have here. That spot that's still from where we tried to kill Santa Claus. Sorry, I didn't know the turf was still torn up over there. Like that was always like I always felt bad for him. Like it's anybody who's ever had to sell a house when you walk through the first time with the other realtor or whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, you got this. Oh, you're like, oh man, yeah, I don't. Yeah, when I had a baby, and the baby, I don't know if you know this, babies will vomit volcano spew. That happened here. Like you know what I mean? Like it's the most embarrassing and terrifying thing all at once.
Yeah, I've never shared this story in the podcast before. I went to a game at the old vet, Eagles Cowboys, and may or may not have.
What made you go to that game?
I got relatives in Philly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So we may or may not have bought tickets from a young entrepreneur outside of the stadium. So we walk in and it is Eagles fans are going nuts. We're like, we just missed a touchdown. This is McNabb's rookie year. I thought he was in. Doug Peters was actually the quarterback. So I walk in, we think we missed a touchdown. Nope. So Michael Irvin getting carted off on a stretcher because of how bad the turf was. An Eagle fan cheering like it was a touchdown. Yeah.
I'm asking Coach if I get points in this bet. Real quick. Keep forgetting, like I have this laptop and you can't see the keys. I don't know why I posted. Oh, I posted all of them. Look at that. That's weird.
Look at that.
That's weird. So, like, Coach asked if we're going to bet a stake on the Steelers Raiders. Raiders are 6-point dogs. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying. And then when I said if I lose, we get to go someplace cheaper. So I think he said Sonic. So I'll sign up for the app. We'll get half price drinks. It'll be cool. No, I don't think the turf is going to be a big issue for these teams today, especially considering the fact that Buffalo doesn't run the ball at all. Like that's the real issue, Bills. Like run the freaking football a little bit. Josh Allen's back there. Allen looks just demeanor wise like a vet now. Like, you know what I mean? Like even when he was really, really good, there was still that little bit of a look in his eye, like, oh my God, I just threw a touchdown to the NFL. This is crazy. Now he's out there and he's running for it and he's got that like smirk that like I did that to you again. Like he's got the vibe of a veteran NFL quarterback now. I think obviously I think Bills are going to be fine. Jets, I just want to see what they are. I just want to see what they are. Not that I'm going to be able to because they're all at one and so are the Raiders today. So I'm going to be watching all the Raiders. That's it.
Also, Giants and football team, we haven't had an opportunity to touch on that game either, right? Because it kicked off Thursday night and that was Giants action today.
The Giants.
I didn't make a banner for that.
You didn't make a banner for the Giants? All right. I was going to start yelling at other people again. That game, that was a fun game. I think if I was going to take one thing away from the Giants football team game, it's that rivalry is 100% back. They both, I think they're pretty even teams. I think they're pretty clear. They're pretty close to where, you've got one team that you've got some, you got a lot of issues in New York. A lot of things aren't coming together yet, but that team was based on coaching last year. And they're more talented on the field this year than they were last year. So if that coaching kicks in the way you would hope it would, I think they're going to be just fine. Meanwhile, I've got what's a murderer's row of defensive front in Washington, and I didn't think they were as big of a factor in the games I thought they would be. That game going to 60 points? Insane.
I don't know how the old South Colony, North Colony days were back in high school. Or
violent
well, there you go. Salve High School was for a stretch known for the fights that would break out in school, and maybe if you frequent in downtown areas at 2:00 in the morning, you might see a fight between people who have been overserved.
You ever get in a fight over at Salve High?
No, I never got in a fight. No, people were afraid of me, obviously.
But anyway, you'd be the guy who would like start tickling them during the fight. Right. They'd be like, "I'm going to kick your ass!" Like,
anyways, I bring that up because that kind of sums up Giants football team. It's not exactly Ali Frazier. It's just a bunch of people kind of like swinging haymakers. You don't know exactly what's going on.
But if one connects,
you can't take your eyes off it. It's
Yeah.
so entertaining. You don't know what's going to happen, what they're going to. It is like a drunken brawl meets two high school girls ripping their hair out of each other's heads, diving over the lunch tables. There was a lot of fights again my junior year. Anyways, that's what Washington, New York was. It's not
Sadly, the
pretty.
biggest fight was on the sideline between Kenny Galladay and Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones, right? And okay, did you see Kadarius Toney, what he's doing on social media?
No.
Oh my goodness.
Young Joka.
Our pal Lindsay at the Empire loves Kadarius Toney. Kadarius Toney is
She loves the Giants.
Yeah, that's her team. He's already complaining on social media about not getting the football enough. Of course, he deleted the post.
Right.
Nobody noticed. But you've already got a wide receiver as a rookie complaining. You've got what you just mentioned there between these two. Look, it's not as bad as other things we've seen with the Giants over the last few years with Ben McAdoo and the nonsense with like calling people out in the film. It's not that. But there are a little bit of issues of, all right, guys, we're already complaining about this stuff this fast in the season.
And we're doing it on social media. Oh, what happened?
I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? I'm sorry.
She's just over there. She's looking very sad. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. What happened?
Yeah.
No, you know what? I don't think the Giants are done. I think it's just a matter of Patrick Graham's going to get that defense back to playing the way they were last year. That offensive line's got to figure it out a little bit better, but they can score points. And they weren't bad at all. I just think there's just a couple little things, and who knew Heineke was going to go out and look like Heisman? Yeah. Like that was, Heisman, Taylor Heisman or Theismann or whatever the hell without the broken legs. It was ridiculous. It was, but again, it's a long season. You got 15 more games.
I would order some Bloody Marys.
I go, you got 15 more games. She goes, oh man. I don't think they're that bad. I really don't think the Giants are that bad. I don't think there's a clear-cut overall good team in the NFC East.
See, there it is right there. There you go. The Giants could go 8-9 this year and potentially be a playoff team, or they could go 5-12 and look for a new quarterback. There's positives across the board. I don't know which way you want to go with them. Both of those things could happen. 8-9. That's not bad.
I think
below average.
Yeah, I think that might have been the most like disappointing part for me was when Kenny Galladay's yelling at Daniel Jones on the sideline, and Daniel Jones is just like, "Well, that's happening." Like I kind of, and I know that's the adult thing, and that's kind of what you want, but I kind of wanted somebody to like at least pretend to hold him back. Damn, just jump at him. I'll hold you back. It'll be like it was. I don't know. There's just a part like what. It's almost like somebody took Eli face. You know that face Eli made when he would throw an interception or a touchdown? It was like, and they turned it into a person, and it became Daniel Jones. He never reacts to anything. Somebody hits him with a hammer. He's like, that sucked. I hope that doesn't happen again. Where's the next play, coach?
Remember when Gettleman said that when he got drafted? He reminds me a lot of Eli. Now we're starting to see what those things were.
That one thing. There's if you go, he makes Eli face as a living. If you go back, it was I think it was 2 years ago.
Hang on,
it was in Miami.
Do you think when Dave Gettleman was like researching Daniel Jones, he just typed in quarterback who looks like Eli and just saw pictures of like Eli's face? That's a kid.
Eli, but bigger and faster. Daniel Jones? There was
Miami game you're talking about.
2 years ago, leading up to the Super Bowl in Miami. They did a cornhole tournament with celebrities. So it was like the best cornhole players in the country, and they were each paired with a celebrity. So the one tournament was Sam Darnold versus Daniel Jones. And, Darnold's getting into a little bit, talking a little bit, throwing whatever, which is weird because he never really did that with the Jets. And there's Daniel Jones. I just got like, it's like that gif where they poke with a stick. Come on, do something. Come on.
Spoken to Rock, by the way, the gift.
It's Daniel Jones. I don't know. We're live at the Hideaway. It's the Taps Tees tournament, and Giants fans are getting sips all around the place. It's pretty bad when the Jets fan is crapping all over the Giants fan. Welcome to 2021, everyone. Welcome. It's at Green Bay, and it's are you relaxed? Yeah. All right, there you go.
The Lions.
Right.
Let's
get the Lions. Yeah. I mean, Lions. There. Oh. I think it's like you're laying 11.5, I think, right now. Yeah, the bettors are all over the Green Bay Packers. Actually, since they're doing that, you want to just start hitting the picks?
Before we get to the picks, we got to tell you about one of our friends here at Levack and Goz, Godzilla Media, Tech East, and more. Our friends over at Johnstone Supply in Troy. Levack, the fall is here. That means changes are coming to your home. Do you need a furnace update, a new control board, a blower motor, or do you just don't know what any of those terms mean? You're like, I think my house needs to get fixed somehow. Johnstone Supply in Troy can help you do that in a more energy efficient way to make sure you're ready for the colder weather on the way. Johnstone Supply in Troy can make sure your house is heated properly for that weather coming. A family-owned and operated business helping out people here in the capital region for decades plus. My guy George cannot wait to show that interview with you coming up in October about the background for his business, his boxing stories, and more. Now's the time to update your filters, your furnace, your heating system in your home, and you can do it at Johnstone Supply in Troy. Check them out in person, 6th Avenue. Maybe grab some nice barbecue right after that as well, or online, or give them a call. Write this down, 518-272-5922. 518-272-5922. That is Johnstone Supply in Troy, helping you heat your home this fall.
I think I'm offended. They sent me over a T-shirt, and it's a beefy tee. Is that an insult? Is that
Pick that up with Tom.
Tom called me fat. I mean, you can, I am, but all right. Thanks to Johnstone Supply. We're live on the Tech East Fire and Water Restoration Facebook page, as well as the Hideaway Facebook page and Godzilla Media on YouTube. And we will be here the next few Sundays, 11:30 to kick off.
11:30 to 1. Yeah.
At least, and who knows, maybe more. You never know. But don't forget, October 3rd is the big Sink the Pink golf tournament. Breast cancer awareness, fight against breast cancer. Benefits the American Cancer Society. You ready to do some picks?
Let's do some picks. Levack, I did my homework.
Okay.
I kept track of my picks from last week. I finally, after all these years, said I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I meant an intern or producer, and then they never did. So I kept track of our picks this year. You were in the lead, my friend. You went 7-7 last week. We didn't have the Thursday night game or the Monday night game. You went 2-2 for your locks.
Yeah, I'm the picture of mediocrity.
I went 6-8 last week. 1-3/2-2 because I said one of my locks was the Raiders covering against the Steelers. However, you didn't pick the Monday night game, so I'm going to wash that because that doesn't count. So I went 1-3 for my locks.
I mean, you want to take it, you can take it. No,
that's not. That's not fair.
I did parlay the Raiders with the over, but but I mean that was all. That was dumb luck. Probably more.
If you get above 500 on the picks, that's a winning season, obviously. But especially we're doing this with the spread, so we're still okay. Perfectly average. 7-7, 6-8.
I'm getting yelled at.
By who? Lindsay, coach, Giants fans, Jets fans?
Other people. So the opportunity to send the National Marine League trophy and the championship shirts over to our friends at the Crisp Cannoli was today. They're doing a car show. So I took Lindsay, I took our guy Matt Woods.
Proud of Hobart.
Yep. Rachel and Angelina from the Empresses sent them over to sell T-shirts and bring the trophy so everybody can see the trophy. Now I'm getting, where the hell are you? Why aren't you here? Because every Sunday I'm at the Hideaway. That's what I do. So now I have a staff, so I can send people one place. I can go hang out another place. I don't have to do work. I just talk sports and be a jackass with you.
Delegate.
Yeah. What are we giving away inside today? Stuff and things.
Someone will delegate that to us.
Well, I know we always have great stuff. Probably a gift certificate here to the Hideaway, which is worth its weight in gold, or at least in plastic. All right, you ready?
Let's do it.
So let's start with the Bengals versus the Bears. This is this is one of those ones. You're looking at Chicago's laying 2. I'm not really sure how I feel about the Bengals yet. I like what they were able to do. They surprised me. They beat a Minnesota team that I thought was just a little bit better than they were. But Minnesota didn't play very well either. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the Bears on this one. The Bears are good at running the football. I think they'll play enough defense. Khalil Mack will get after Burrow a little bit. I'll lay the 2 points, play the Bears at home.
That was a really good win for Cincinnati. You and I both liked the Vikings last week. They were able to win that game. Jamar Chase is able to make it happen. Here's what this game can mean. If Joe Burrow is good for Cincinnati and Andy Dalton's if you're a Bears fan and you lose this game, isn't it Justin Fields' time this fast? Watching what a young quarterback can do for Cincinnati. Because of that, I'm taking the Bengals to beat Chicago on the road, and we might see Justin Fields as the quarterback as soon as this month for Chicago.
That's scary. Is Nagy that kind of guy, though? Because if I'm Nagy, I'm keeping Field in my pocket as long as I can because then if I put him in and he looks good halfway through the season, well, you got to let me have another year. You got to give me one more year to develop the kid. I mean, come on, look what I've already done with him. The Houston Texans at the Cleveland Browns. This has got beatdown written all over it. Vegas agrees. If you like the Browns, you got to lay 13.5. as they host the Texans.
Our pal Field Yates had a stat about this game. He was the first to post. I want to make sure I get it correct, too. I believe the stat is this. Since the Cleveland Browns have re-entered the NFL, so this is 1999, that is the biggest favorite the Browns have been in over 20-plus years. Now, with that big of a number, our pal Chet Davis over at CBS said, put the farm on this game. And I'm like, are you talking about the Browns? He's like, no, Houston. Like, oh, shoot. I'm like, okay, you got that much confidence in the Texans. Levack, that was your big call last week. You said
that's my play of the week.
Be there. Cleveland is ticked off after that loss to Kansas City. I think they do smack around Houston in this game. Houston will cover. Cleveland will win.
See, here's the thing. If Houston doesn't play the way they played last week, what's the spread in this game? 18?
Yeah, it's high.
I think
it's high.
I think we're gonna go. I think I'm gonna take Cleveland to cover. I think Cleveland.
Woo.
I don't know if I'm gonna bet it, but I like Cleveland to cover. Oh, the Lynches are here.
Hey!
Half of you guys know football. So all right.
By the way, we're 0-2 against each other right now. Last week we had our first 4 picks all the same, already out of the gates, 2 different picks.
Oh, I ain't mad about that at all. I like that. That makes me feel better on my picks. You got the Rams going to the Colts. Last time the number was out. Right now, the Rams are a 4-point favorite. I got to tell you, I like the Rams a lot this year. I feel like the Rams are a legitimate Super Bowl contender. Matthew Stafford, an MVP contender. At Indy makes me a little nervous. I'm getting 4. I'm going to take the Colts. I'm going to take the 4 points. I think this could be a field goal game.
Man, we are battling back and forth. I thought this was a no-doubter for you to take the Rams for how much you love this team this season so far. Indianapolis at home. The offense is going to be flying. Stafford's used to playing inside for most of his career. Indy's had some battles up front, man. They got to get some guys to get healthy for that Colts team if they want to get better fast. I'm going Rams. I think they come off Sunday night, continue the pace going here for this LA team. I'm going Rams in this one to cover and win.
I want to. Ow! I want to go Rams. I do. I just can't. I can't do it. Can't do it. San Francisco 49ers are going to. They're hitting the road, and they're what's up? High five! I'm getting high fives all around.
They like your picks clearly more than mine. 3 high fives, 3 winners.
See, you marry people, and then they're yours forever. You can't. I married the Lynches, so now they're mine forever. So house divided today, though. Jets and Pats fans. That was actually part of the ceremony too. We had to point that out. All right, so the Niners are laying a field goal at Philadelphia. Niners have got a lot of weird injuries, a lot of problems. I think Philly's good. I think Philly's better than we thought they would be going into the season, but they are not good enough to beat the Niners, even a West Coast team coming east. I'm going to lay the 3 with the 49ers.
Same with me. We finally agree on something, and it's the San Francisco 49ers. Both of these teams, though, we want to talk about teams that are going to start making moves in the NFC. If Philly wins this game, they might have a little bit of distance in the NFC East for about quality of team. Same with the Niners. I know we're going to have a few more NFC West tier teams, but if they have this win again, too, boy, San Fran is talking about putting themselves in contention as a top team in the NFC.
All right, next game you got on the board is the Las Vegas Raiders. They're going to Pittsburgh to take on Big Ben and the Steelers. Raiders getting 5.5 points.
This is going to hurt you, Levack, because I know you got your bet with Coach going on now. This is one of my locks of the week. I've been a Pittsburgh Steeler hater, it seems like, because they are not a fun team to watch the last few years. They just beat Buffalo. Vegas coming off a huge win on Monday night. I'm taking the Steelers with the points as one of my locks of the week. You know what? I won't say the other ones. This is one of them for sure. This is one of the most confident games I have this week. Steelers, sorry, Levack, against your Raiders.
I got to tell you, I think we saw something last week. I think we saw Carr getting back to that MVP kind of play. And I think what really popped out is at the end of that game, Edwards and Jones, Brian Edwards and Zay Jones, prove that they are legitimate targets to go with Darren Waller. Raiders plus 5.5. I'll take that 5.5. Raiders are going to win this game outright, but I'll take the 5.5 because I can have it. And why would I give it back if I don't have to? Next up, we got the New Orleans Saints. They're going to the Carolina Panthers. And this is a game that is a little weird to me because I feel like there's a bit of an overcorrection going on. New Orleans is laying 3 at Carolina. New Orleans got some issues. I got to be honest, man. I'm taking the Panthers. I'm taking the 3 points at home. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Give me Carolina hosting Jameis Winston and your other team, the New Orleans Saints.
Those 3-point divisional games always scream push to me.
There you
They
go.
always do. They always scream push to me. 3-point divisional games. I like the Saints in this one. I think it's going to be one of the best 1 o'clock games in the window this week. This game is also going to be one of my locks, but not because of that. Over. I saw 44.5 was the last over I saw in that game. Over. Tons of points in Saints-Panthers today.
It's up to 45 now. Still over.
No, give me that hook back. I wanted 44.5. Let me win with the hook. 45 sign. I'll still take the over.
All right, that's fine. That's fine with me. Denver Broncos at Jacksonville. If you like the Broncos, you got to lay 6 on the road.
Here's what happens in this game. I like the Broncos because Urban Meyer was watching that Washington State USC game thinking, I could do this. I could coach USC. Broncos.
Lock it up, baby. Lock it up. Give me the 6. Give me Jacksonville. This is my play of the week.
Ooh.
I honestly, if I was a slightly braver man, I'd bet Jacksonville outright. This has all the trimmings of an upset. This could be the one game that Jacksonville wins and people go, I told you that Urban Meyer could coach in the NFL. And then he might go 1-16 for the rest of the season. But I'm going to go ahead and take Jacksonville. This has got Jacksonville written all over it. They're definitely going to Coversville. I don't know if they're going to go to Winsville with that. Vikings are traveling to the Cardinals in Arizona. The Cardinals are 3.5-point favorites. I'm not ready to give up on Minnesota just yet. I think with a field goal plus in the hook, I can see this being a field goal game. I don't think Minnesota is as rough as they looked. I don't think the Cardinals are as good as they looked. I'm going to go ahead and take Minnesota later 3.5.
That was
take 3.5.
That was almost exactly what I was going to say. That Minnesota's going to be.
You never sounded so smart.
3 points in this game. The hook is the difference. Overcorrection for Arizona. I was all against the Cardinals last week. One of my locks is the Titans. Whiff. Swing and a miss on Tennessee last week. I'll go back to the well one time and beat Arizona again and see if I go 0-2 on it. But I'm with you. The hook's the difference in that game. Arizona wins. Minnesota covers, right? Because Arizona's 3.5. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, I don't know. That's going to be a fun game all the way around. You're Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the 4 o'clock slate hosting Atlanta. It's a 12.5-point game.
I like Tampa. I'm wearing I had the shorts on. I had 2 different outfits I had for my Buccaneers.
Guys doesn't even know he's wearing anymore.
I wore that Godzilla Media polo a long time this weekend. All right, I have the shirt on now and the shorts, but I hate betting against my favorite team. Tampa's going to win. Atlanta looked horrendous week 1. You could argue they looked the worst of any NFL team, maybe besides the Titans in week 1. Tampa wins. Too many points in a divisional game for me to feel confident. I would take the Falcons with the points.
Lock it up. Taking the Falcons plus the points. It's one of my locks. Again, Tampa might win, but not by 12.5. 12.5 is just way too many points. So go ahead and go ahead take those points, baby. Take them right to the bank. Dallas Cowboys are headed to the LA Chargers. I don't know how I feel about the Chargers. If I want to -3, I'm gonna go ahead. We said the Eagles. We already did that game. I'm gonna take the Cowboys plus the 3. Cowboys plus 3. I think the Chargers are a better team than I thought they were, but I think the Cowboys offense is next level. Defense is going to be okay. They're going to win this game outright, but I'll take the 3 points because I can have them.
The Chargers with Austin Eckler and Herbert and what they're able to do to play some exciting football, and we both liked Washington last week. Maybe that game's completely different if Ryan Fitzpatrick's out there and play, but Heineke's good. Washington wasn't able to beat LA last week, and I hated against the Chargers. I'm starting to notice some flipping. I'm going with the Chargers in this one. Here's why, though. Dallas, what's going to happen with Zeke Elliott? Is Mike McCarthy just not going to give him the ball this season? We'll find out this week if he's still saving Zeke or he's actually going to run the football with Zeke. That's the difference in that game. Because of my uncertainty with that, I would go with LA.
Tennessee at Seattle. Seattle is laying 6.5 points.
6 is a lot, man. Like Tennessee.
6.5 is more than that, too. That's even more.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Boy, with Wilson and Metcalf and Carroll and that whole squad out there and Seattle, let's just be a consistent franchise, one of the most consistent in the NFL. Tennessee's defense is that bad? God, I'm going against the Titans. Can they tackle? I got to go with Seattle.
Is there a room you'd less like to be in than the defensive meetings with Vrabel after that loss last week?
No.
I think Tennessee bounces back a little bit. I think Seattle still wins this game, but 6.5, too many points. Give me Tennessee. Sunday night game, Kansas City at Baltimore. Kansas City laying 4. I've gone back and forth in this game a million times. I love the total. I love the over on this game, over 53.5. I think there's going to be a ton of points scored. If I got to take a side with the points, I think it's a field goal game. Kansas City doesn't seem to want to blow people out this year or last year. They seem to kind of mill around and then just win it as they go. So I'll take Baltimore +4.
Kansas City might be one of these teams this year that consistently wins but doesn't cover. It seems to happen a lot with the teams that are really good in the NFL. They didn't cover last week against Cleveland in a good game back and forth. I'm with you on this. I feel like the Ravens cover. It's going to be a shootout. It's an awesome Sunday night game. What's going to happen in the backfield? We were talking to our guy Chad here earlier about the running backs for the Ravens. They're veterans. They're good. Maybe that's what it's going to be. Hope Lamar Jackson doesn't get hit. I'm concerned about his contract coming up, but how much more action does he want to take blows on before he gets that huge deal? Baltimore covers, and I'm with you on a lot of points tonight.
Monday night, before we get into the 2 New York games that are played today, Detroit at Green Bay. Green Bay laying 11.5.
Smell that, Levack? It's a backdoor.
Again?
No, that's not me. No. It's a
right,
backdoor cover is what that's called. It's going to be a blowout for most of the game. You're going to think you got it wrapped up with Green Bay. Garbage touchdown late by Detroit, just like they did last week if you got it at 8.5. Detroit, backdoor cover, but Green Bay dominates most of the game.
I just can't. I can't take Detroit. I've been thinking about the fighting Dan Campbell's. That's so many points. Everybody's on Green Bay because of, Rodgers going to make a point and everything like that. I think he does. I think he does make a point. I'll lay the points. It's a ton. It's Monday Night Football. I could see a final score like 35-17, something like that. Some kind of just beat down.
And then Goff throws a touchdown with 40 seconds left to cover.
Backdoor cover. Yeah, that wouldn't blow my mind either. Buffalo Bills, Miami Dolphins. You like the Bills? You got to like 3.5.
Oh, get that hook out of there for 3.5. Get that hook
I'm doing it. I'm taking it. I think the Bills make a statement today. Dolphins? He's got the shorts, the teal shorts, and everything. He's a Dolphins fan. I don't know. Dolphins are better than I thought they were, but Tua versus. Nah. I gotta take the Bills. I gotta do it.
Of all the games we've picked so far, this is my most difficult game to pick because that 3.5 is just scaring me to wager on. Because Miami, divisional game, they're 1-0. Buffalo's 0-1. I mentioned the field. I feel like both teams are going to want to try to grind this out. Gabe Davis and his status and everything else. Zach Moss was a healthy scratch last week. Oh, man, I think I'm going to go with the Bills to win and the Dolphins keep it within 3, and that's the difference. The hook plays a factor in this game. Buffalo wins. Miami covers. I feel like I've done that a lot on these picks this week because the numbers are killing me. But Miami and Buffalo, we mentioned some of the best 1:00 games. That one is going to be a fourth quarter. Limit the turnovers. Don't do something stupid at the end. Battle between Tua and Allen. Allen's better. That's the difference.
New York Jets +6 as they take on the New England Patriots.
Patriots by 7. Our pal Joe Lynch will be happy, who we just saw a few moments ago. I'm rooting for the Jets to win this game, though. I want the Jets with the underdog feel and Saleh to go nuts. I want Saleh to start doing the lap up the stadium with all the fans behind him going nuts. The Jets are going to keep this as close as they can. It's not going to be a blowout, but at the end is the difference, and New England pulls it out in the fourth.
They do pull it out in the fourth with a field goal. That's what they do. They're going back to, like, when I say the Pats are back, they're back to that team that didn't blow you out, that won 16-13, 17-14. This is the Jets +6 is one of my locks this week. That's right. I'm going into a week with Jacksonville and the Jets as 2 of my locks. So I don't know how this world works. I don't know why if I want to live here, but this is where I am. So my locks for today, I'm taking Jacksonville +6. I'm taking the Jets +6. I'm taking the Atlanta Falcons FedEx delivery, Arthur Smith +12.5, and I'm going over 55 for the Dallas Cowboys and the Chargers.
I'm going to go least confident to most confident for my locks here. Least confident, one of the 4, Atlanta covered against my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Then we move to the Texans game. Texans cover against Cleveland. I like the over in New Orleans versus Carolina, even though it's moved that 45. I still think it's going to be a ton of points. And the lock of the week for me, Steelers, Raiders, Pittsburgh covers.
I can't believe your lock is so wrong. I can't believe
state game. John's got some investment in it.
I'm telling you right now, Jacksonville's the play. You may not be able to bet Jacksonville the rest of the year. This may be your last chance. I would, like, if you're in multiple survivor pools, or if you're one of those where you can buy your way back in, I might take Jacksonville this week if I was them. There's some of those you can buy your way back in. Like, take Jacksonville this week. Expect a lot of Fargo plays from Trevor Lawrence. You know what Fargo stands for as quarterback?
No.
fuck around. Somebody gets open.
Never heard that before.
I think Trevor Lawrence is going to win the Fargo Award this year. He's just going to F around, get open. Oh, no. Downfield, Fargo.
There's an S in there. Fars go.
Fargo.
Somebody gets open. There's going to be an S in there, right?
Fuck around, get open. That's there it is. Right?
All right, I got rid of the S. All right,
there you
that
go.
works.
Just don't ruin a good thing. Don't ruin a good thing.
You and your spelling.
Yeah. All of a sudden, you're going to start talking spelling to a dyslexic guy. What are you going to try to make me write articles next? We're live at the Hideaway. I just want a quick reminder to everybody that the big old Sink the Pink tournament is coming up on October 3rd. Don't miss out on that one. Are we here again next week? We're here every week, right?
We're here for a while. You're stuck with us, whether you like.
Yeah, every Sunday we'll join you at 11:30 live from the Hideaway. Feel free to stop by, say hello, and you can comment, like, subscribe, and fly a model airplane if you like the show. We appreciate all of that. I want to remind everybody too, the Integrative Sleep Center in Boston Spa, great night's sleep last night. Mouthpiece, not a CPAP, not a mask, none of that stuff. Mouthpiece, 518-885-6185. Techies Fire and Water Restoration, thank them. And then what else? Is there anything else we need to cover today that we didn't get to yet?
We are all good, man. We've covered everything we want. We got the cool giveaways coming up. Come watch the games with us. We're going to have a lot of fun. Again, all that information about how to sign up for tournaments coming up this fall right here on our YouTube side. Check it out. You can see all that stuff. And we've got NFL football on the way, man. You and I are back
Live
Tuesday. Techies Tuesday.
Coming back. 4:30?
4:30 to 6. We got a little bit more consistent schedule. So Techies Tuesdays,
Sundays
at the Hideaway. Maybe we'll do another college game day show either Friday or Saturday, remote or something. I got a wedding on Friday. My weddings are almost done, and bachelor parties and everything else. So
bull
a lot
crap.
of cool stuff coming up.
Bull crap. Yeah, and if you hurry here, you can watch Shannon and everybody's face when I say I'm not drinking.
I will be having a Bloody Mary. Just
oh
for you,
man, I'm so jealous. You might have that too, just to help me out. All right, go Jacksonville, go Raiders. And thanks everybody for checking us out and being a part of this. And we promise to do a little better next time. It's Levack and Goz live from the Hideaway again. Next show Tuesday, 4:30. Techies Tuesday. We'll see you then. Come to the Hideaway right now. Win some great prizes. Enjoy amazing food, drinks, and there's this game called golf that people do here. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a good time though. You should come by.